Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Mole Trap here. Coming at you with game number 3 of the fourth place match between our two teammates, Yellow and Reach. It's going to be on the map Bifrost, which is, of course, our lovely blue map, which actually reminds me a little bit of Blue Storm in its construction in a way. Blue Storm, if you remember that map from like 2007, 8, 9 period. Now that I think of it, maybe it's just the blue tile set that's getting me, but it's a diagonal 2-player map as well with a kind of a weird construction as far as where the expansions are. So that kind of is reminiscent as well. This is, of course, our map with the expansion up a ramp behind the main, but that also has a back door. There's a ridge along the entire left side of the map and the entire right side of the map that goes as a back route to the expansion, but also gives you a high ground perspective onto other expansions that you could take, which you often do want to take because the backdoor expansion is a mineral only expansion, so it's not as valuable. Okay, this is interesting. We got Reach putting a pylon in his main. This looks like quick defense to me, theoretically. You want to keep your buildings tightly clumped up if you're worried about an early attack. He is probe scouting as well to see what's going on. So he sees that it is a pretty early pool. It looked like maybe a 12 pool there or something along those lines. Not super early, but a little bit early. And actually an assimilator going down. That's intriguing. He doesn't even have a gateway yet, and he's already building an assimilator. Unless he has a gateway that I'm not seeing. Is it a forge? Forge assimilator. What is going on here? That's a little strange. Was he worried about a gas deal? I don't know. Why? I mean, the assimilator gets you gas. You need gas for dragoons, but you can't build dragoons until you have a cybernetics core, which is past the gateway. So this is a little bit strange. Oh, he's gonna get an upgrade. Oh, he's getting early gas so he can get a super fast +1 weapons. And then he's gonna build a cannon to keep himself safe. And then he's gonna build gateways. Like I said, looks like an anti-6-leg defense. You build a pylon in your base right next to your nexus with a little corner, a little pocket, where you can build a cannon inside of it, and then your buildings are going to protect your cannon, right, against an early attack. So that's exactly kind of what we see here, but without, but with the gas as well, he's going to get, wow, this is pretty interesting. He's going to get such a fast +1, I think. I think that's why we're seeing him get gas. I can't imagine any other reason why he would be getting gas before a gateway. That's just bizarre. And there's the spinning forge, yeah. And there's the gateway and a second gateway as well. So we're going to see him have extremely early +1 weapons on his zealots. And it's for some reason it's like kind of slipping my mind for sure, right? Like I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head, but basically what I remember correctly, if I remember correctly, it's that, you know, if you have +1 weapons on the zealots and no armor on the Zerglings, you're going to 2-hit the Zerglings instead of 3-hit them. So basically it makes your Zealots almost 50% more effective. It's a huge advantage. And if it's an early advantage, when there's low numbers of Zealots and Zerglings, that makes it even more visible. So, and actually, are we going to see some cannons as well? We are going to see some cannons. Now, we do have this one cannon in a nice spot to try and protect all these buildings. Is it going to be enough, though? The Zealot pops out just at the exact perfect moment. If those Zealots had been 5 or 10 seconds later, there was the potential there for the Zerglings to actually run in and do a surround on that cannon and then just kill everything. But I mean, if that cannon was in a bad spot, he still would do it. But that cannon is in such a perfect spot, all of his probes can protect it. He would just have to, you know, it would be really easy probe drill. He would even just have to hit stop on some of his probes or attack, and they would disrupt the Zerglings and protect the cannon. So it's a really beautiful spot. You could tell he's actually planned this build out perfectly, and planned it out extremely carefully as well. Now building a pylon by his choke point, which indicates to me that he's probably going to try and put a cannon there and then maybe block with a building or more zealots or something like that. He is moving out on the map with these zealots. Zerglings are going to try and run by and get this pylon. There's still that cannon in the main, but that is it. He's bringing these zealots back, though. Good micro by reach to protect this pylon, protect his zealots as well. And this is a stall tactic. I mean, he's stalling right now. And another Hydralisk Den. Oh, he's going to catch a few Zerglings. 2 Zerglings for free. That third one is trapped in there as well. A little bit separated, so that is not a good situation. Oh, he almost loses another Zergling. Looks like +1 is now completed. Yeah, looks like 16 + 2, giving him 18 attack instead of 16, right? So 36 instead of 34 damage, or 32 damage in 2 hits. So anyway, yellow trying to defend his expansion here. He has taken a gas expansion, which is almost necessary for Zerg to, at the very least, your third base needs to be a gas expansion. But he's doing a little bit of a counterattack here with some speedlings. They are going to be able to take out this pylon. There is no cannon at the choke like I thought there would be, but Reach is going for another early kill here, running in with these zealots into the main. He's actually going after the Hydralisk Den itself. He's ignoring the sunken colony and going straight for the den. He is going to get it, I think. There's no way to stop it. The den goes down. The den goes down. He just straight up ignores the sunken colonies and targets down the Hydralisk Den. And that is actually a really good move because he saw the lair there. He knew the lair was there. There's no reason, well, there's not no reason, but if you've got an early lair with the Hydralisk Den, you know he's researching lurkers. And by killing off that den, it's not just stopping a Hydralisk from being made, it's actually stopping lurkers from being researched. And I don't think there's any way that he would have researched them already. So, a huge, huge blow there. Hydralisk Den going back up now. A little bit surprising he's not switching up his plans a little bit at this point. Hydralisk Den is, I guess, faster than trying to go for a Spire. Zealots are back for more. They are not done yet. They have tasted the blood of a Hydralisk Den, and they want additional building blood, because Zerg buildings have blood, apparently, because they're also alive, which is kind of cool. Templar Archives is up now as well. So I'm certain that we're going to see some Dark Templar out on the map pretty soon, and there is no Overlord over those sunken colonies at the expansion base. And he is building a Spire. He is building it in a little bit of a sneaky location. Excuse me. Building at a little bit of a sneaky location at his expansion where you wouldn't expect a major tech to be. It's also in a spot where, you know, it could be hit by stuff on the high ground. So that's something to think about as well. Excuse me. A little bit of scratchy throat today. Don't worry, I'm not sick or anything like that. Just... It's been a little bit cold here. Anyway, so Reach now getting that expansion up. We're seeing a little bit of Reach's first-person view as well. He's got a lot of probes, which is cool. That means he's going to be able to transfer them over. That Dragoon is so effed. Oh, nope, nope. The Zealots have something to say about it, actually. They are now speed upgraded Zealots, so he can actually get back in there. And he really wants to kill that Overlord, actually. And, oh, the Zerglings get back on the Dragoon. It's going to continue surviving, though. Look at that. 3 kills on that Dragoon, actually. Archon is now out as well. And see, that's the cannon I was expecting earlier, right at that choke point, so that he can put something in the choke point. The cannon will cover it against Zergling fire. Well, this is really interesting. The Spire is now complete, and there's only 1 Dragoon. If he gets out like 6 Mutalisks, kill off that Dragoon real quick, and then polish off the Zealots. He's built so many sunken colonies. He's got 7 sunks on the map instead of a third base. 7 sunken colonies is actually more than a third base, because that is a lot of minerals that you could be mining with those as well. And there's the Mutalisk popping out. That's why one of the reasons why we saw him really attacking the Dragoon early on. I mean, the Dragoon doesn't do a lot against Mutalisks, but and there we just see it, in fact, soaking up damage and dying. Now these Mutalisks reign supreme in the air, and he is actually ignoring the Zealots and going for a straight-up attack. Wants to go for the place where it hurts, which is the economy. Now, this Archon has something to say about it. But again, just like we were talking about before, the Archon is not as mobile as the Mutalisk. Oh, look at that dodge. Dodges out of the cannon fire, out of range of the Archons, and is now going to exit the area pretty much unscathed. Both players unscathed, actually. No damage done by the Mutalisks, which is actually a pretty big deal, because they could have taken out... But, well, looks like they get another chance at killing Zealots. Especially if the Zealots aren't even running back to base. They're kind of just getting choked up on this on this bridge. So Mutalisks get free kills after all. Sweet. Sweet. A little consolation prize for those Mutalisks. And Reach is now getting his 3rd base up, whereas Yellow is still on 2 bases. And that is not the best situation at all for Yellow. It's amazing how many sunken colonies there are in his main and his natural. I guess maybe I should, his 2nd base, not necessarily his natural, because it's not right outside of his main base. And these 2 Archons are going to have to defend this base. The Mutalisks are coming in, again getting more Zealot kills, just being a nuisance on the map and picking off a lot of units out there. Now he's going to have to try and defend this base with these Archons until the cannons warp in. Is he going to let that happen? Mutalisks can just dodge up to that high ground. There's no way for the Archon to follow. But critically, he doesn't have the leeway here. Like if Yellow's getting Hydralisks, these Zealots would be effective, and he'd have the extra resources to get Psystorm and really prepare for a longer game. But instead, he can't do that. Now these Mutalisks picking off probes, they actually go in and kill the cannons off in the main so they can get some probe kills, kill off several probes before the Archons can get back there. Again, Archons are just a little bit too slow. You know, it's too bad that they don't have motorcycles that Archons can fit on top of. Otherwise, the Archons could get around a lot quicker, be much more effective. Actually, you know, you'd think that the Protoss are like this advanced race, right? That they have all these spacefaring vehicles that can go at hyperspace speeds and go around the galaxy, but they don't have some kind of a little vehicle, like a little Archon Segway, so the Archons can like get around a little bit faster. Maybe they're just too much full of pulsing energy that anything that they went on top of would actually die. And Yellow coming in here, diving down onto these cannons, being rebuilt in the main, killing off yet more probes. And he's doing a lot of damage. He's up to a ton of Mutalisks as well. He could even theoretically try and fight those, well, maybe not with 2 or 3 Archons, although the Archons are a little bit spread out now. But he's lost a lot of probes. Random Zealot, just chilling. Just on hold position, just dying, just for fun. Anyway, Mutalisks continue to be harassing on all these 3 bases. But here's the thing. Reach still has 3 bases. Like, these 3 bases are under constant attack, but there's still 3 of them. And Yellow only has 2. And I don't know if he can stand up to this counterattack, because now we got this force coming across the map, and a few Sunks are not going to be enough. Sunkens are pretty effective against Archons, actually. But with the Zealots there to tank the damage, this is not looking good. And actually, the Archons get some free hits. Oh, he's going to get free kills on the Overlords as well. He actually skips the free kills on the Overlords for some reason, even though they are slow. They're sitting ducks or flying ducks, or, well, they're flying Overlords, I guess. Yeah, so now Yellow is supply blocked as a massive army of Zealots and Archons marches into his main base. How is he going to deal with this? Only Mutalisks will not work. And Reach is going to leave? I'm very confused. Very, very confused. He's even got an Archon back home, by the way, to protect. And he's actually going to leave. He's not going to try and kill off the base. Maybe he's like, alright, well, look, my opponent's on 2 bases. I don't really need to kill him right now. I'm winning the long game. I just need to defend. And now he's having to run back to defend. Or is he going to counterattack? He is going to counterattack. I think this is the right move. It's too long of a distance. You can't let the Zerg just toy with your emotions by going back and forth and drawing you back to your main every single time. But now there's lurkers in play. Does he have an observer? He does have an observer there, and there's nothing that he can do to stop the observer. There's no anti-air. There's no scourge. There's a couple mutas pop out. Can he target down the observer with those mutas? Instead, they're just stuck attacking the Archon. The Archon does go down. He did a good job of attacking the Archons with the sunken colonies because they do a lot of damage to the shields. But in the meantime, his entire main gets cleared out. Everything dead. The drones have escaped. Some of them have escaped, but the Sunks are dead. The Hydra's Den is dead as well. He still has the Spire. I think the Hydra's Den is still there, but he's actually going after the Lair and the Den now. And Yellow is desperately trying to achieve enough counter damage with these Mutalisks. But again, Reach is just like ignoring it. He's like, fine, whatever, kill all my probes. I'll kill all your everything. And now he's going after these cannons, though. This base is going to fall. So Reach is currently at 3 bases, but he's going to be at 2 before too long. Because again, all of his units, Yellow has managed to kill off. And there's the Corsairs finally being built at the, 14-minute mark or something like that. But I don't think it's going to be enough. 2 Corsairs is not going to be enough against all of those mutas. And look at this nice defense by Yellow. He's got a well-defended natural expansion, or second base, but that's his only base. That is his only base. It's pretty impregnable right now with the sunken colonies. The drone drills have potential, but Yellow would have to even things out with his own forces in order to win this game. And actually, he does a really good job of spreading out so that the Corsairs are not doing as much splash damage. But the Corsairs are getting some kills. He's down to just 4 mutalisks. We're probably going to see a GG once we get a couple more Corsairs in the mix. Because I don't think he can actually kill off. Reach still has 2 fully mining bases right now. Yeah, there's more Corsairs coming in. I think he probably has 2 Stargates, actually, is my suspicion there. What can Yellow do? We've seen Yellow fight with 1 base before, but it's not a great situation for him. I mean, we've seen him fight with 1 base before. We've never seen him win with 1 base before. So, I'm not sure what the chances are here. And actually, you know what? I was just thinking, like, didn't we just see Yellow fighting as, like, 1 base versus Protoss not that long ago? These guys played in the group stage. They were in the same group in Group B together. And I think that's what the game was. I think it was Yellow versus Reach in the group stage. And I'm actually just looking over my other monitor, and it was not, because that was a ZVT in the group stage when Yellow was like trying to fight with 1 base, because Yellow actually beat Reach in their group stage match. And I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning of this series. Would have been pertinent, but I forgot that they were in the same group before. So anyway, yeah, I mean, it's a 1-1 matchup right now. It's a 1-1 tie in this situation, but Reach has even protected his 3rd base with these Corsairs. Yellow is just desperately fighting off of his 1 base against 3 to try and somehow get back an advantage here with just these Mutalisks, which are going to die to Corsairs pretty soon. This is kind of cute that he's putting a Lurker up on the high ground, but, it can only do so much against a 3-base Protoss. I'm not sure exactly what he hopes to accomplish in this situation. He stopped mining a little bit, but the base is going to survive. So this is, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. This is a little bit sad. I mean, if Yellow comes back here, I'll hand it to him. I'll hand it to him. He's the greatest Zerg alive in 2004. But I just don't see a way for him to come back in this situation with just a handful of Mutalisks. And basically no mining. He's mining at 1 base. He's only at 1 gas, so he can barely support, adding more Mutalisks. Looks like he's trying to retake his main base. But he's lost all his tech. He has the Spire still, but he's lost his den. He lost his lair. He may have another lair by now, I suppose. Looks like he's remade his Hydralisk den because he's continued to make Lurkers here. And he's got a 2nd hatchery in that expansion as well. So, I mean, he's not dead yet, but he's on the bare bones, and I'm not sure what he can really do about this situation. I mean, I guess there's a little squad here of a few Zealots and a couple of Archons that are kind of going out on their own without the bulk of his force. What the heck? How did Yellow get that much stuff? He actually has a significant... Alright, well, we're going to see one last-ditch counterattack here. Yellow's going to try and go for a kill with several Lurkers and a handful of Zerglings, and Reach sees it coming, and he's going to clump up Archons on top of those cannons, and this is not going to work at all. Comes in, the Lurkers burrow. They're going to get surrounded. The cannons can sense them. The Archons are going to demolish them. We're going to see GG in just a couple seconds here. This was the last chance, and there is no more chance for Yellow. And he's still in the game, having committed everything that he's built up for the last 4 or 5 minutes into a desperate counterattack and accomplishing nothing. Nothing. He killed like a couple Zealots, maybe 1 cannon I didn't see. And, he lost every Zergling, he lost every Lurker, he lost all but 1 of his Mutalisks. And now he's kind of trying to have this little defensive choke point here with Lurkers in the choke. Maybe he's hoping to get some Scourge and like kill off observers or something like that, but that's not going to happen when the Corsairs get there. So, anyway, this game, like I said, it feels very over, but Yellow is not ready to give up yet. Hey, you know, it is 2004. Play was imperfect in 2004, and so maybe... And there was the Overlords that he needed in position to use the Scourge to kill off the Observers. And now the Overlords are all dead as well. He doesn't even have Mutalisks to fight and die against them. The Observer's there. Alright. Here we go. He's not even running in with that much. It's 3 Archons and a handful of Zealots. And that is it. And that's all he needs to kill everything here. I know you guys think the Corsairs as well. Is he going to kill everything? He holds. He makes... Oh my god. Get out, Yellow. Get out. You're done. You can't make units. You're supply blocked. There's... I think it would have been pretty actually classy of him to GG after winning that fight, you know? Losing everything except that last one Hydralisk and then leaving at that point might have been a good move to go. I'm not trying to say Yellow isn't classy. You know, I can't really fault someone for... You know, if this was like the round of 24, you know, I might give him a little bit of fault. But this is the 3rd place match. This is fighting for a seed in the next OSL. This is fighting where if he loses this game, he's going to fall behind in the series. You can't fault him too much for trying until there's absolutely no possible way of coming back. We've seen comebacks before from crazy positions. You know, Zerg is a race that I think is even very capable of that. But and Reach has not been throwing a lot at him. His production is not too high. So, you know, he keeps throwing in these handfuls of Zealots and an Archons. And there's the GG finally as he realizes that all of the main drones have been killed off by a single Dark Templar. Doesn't look happy about that. At all. At all. So, Reach is going to take a 2-1 lead in the series. Looking pretty strong there. Looking very feisty. You know, we had kind of a... I'm trying to even remember actually what happened at the beginning of that game. Oh, yeah, the crazy +1 rush that was actually pretty effective. I mean, it was all kind of downhill from there, right? He got in there. He killed off the Hydra's Den. He killed off some drones. He still maintained advantage. And the Mutalisk counter was really clever. Again, it was a good choice. I think it was a strong move. But we saw him just run around with those Mutalisks for a long time and not get much damage done. Eventually, he did go in. He had enough Mutalisks to dive in and kill off the cannons. And then he was able to get some probe kills. But, I mean, you know, he maybe got 10 or 15 probe kills total throughout the game for all those Mutalisks. And they didn't really accomplish a lot else. I guess they got a few Zealot kills as well. So it did look like Yellow might have an advantage early on. But what did he do with it? He just stayed on 2 bases. And so I think that might be where Yellow lost it, is trying to go all in off the 2 bases off of that advantage rather than try and turn that advantage into a longer term advantage. And, you know, again, that's 2004 for you, you know. It was much more common to play low base count games, and the meta of turning a strategic advantage into an economic advantage had not been quite as cemented as it is now. So anyway, that's going to do it for game number 3. Thanks very much for watching. We got a series in our hands, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to go to a 4th game. The next game will be on the map Pelennor. And we're going to see if Reach can close it out with a 3-1 victory, or if Yellow can tie it up to bring it to a game 5. Hopefully I'll see you again for the next one, and thank you very much for watching.